Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Do you have pages out of a book that you would like to use but you're not really sure what to do with them? This is a great project for that. So we're going to be using our book page pictures and we're going to be making a fold out for our junk journal. Now you can use this into a pocket, a belly band, or you could glue it onto a page by just gluing 3 sides and having a tuck spot right back behind, or you could glue the whole thing onto a page, and it just is a lovely addition to your junk journals. I love how this has turned out. Now let me show you how I made mine. I started with a coffee dyed piece of coffee weight paper, and I cut it the long way, so I turned it this way. I'll turn it this way so you can see a little better. You're going to be measuring from this side in 4 inches, and so because this is an 8.5 inch, actually it's 11 by, yes, 8.5, you're going to be able to get 2 strips out of your 1 piece of paper to make 2 pieces of ephemera. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to take our strip here and we want to just kind of eyeball it. So I just rolled it. I took one end, I rolled it over, I rolled the other end over. I haven't folded anything yet, and I'm just kind of pushing and pulling just to see if I can get a, well, shall we say an even amount. That's 1, 2, 3. I think this is 3.5. Is that about right? No, we could do a little more. Sorry. I think this one will work. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you what that is in just a minute. So I folded this. The first fold was 1, 2, 3 3/4, and then this one just folded over the top. Now my example, which is right here, I think it's a little smaller, just a tiny bit smaller, so somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I folded one a little earlier as I was prepping. They're pretty close. This one that I folded together with you is still just a tiny bit bigger. Now the next thing I would like to do is I'm going to bring in my script stamp. It looks just like this. And I have my black StazOn right here. And I want to stamp the front fold out. So this piece right here, that's what I want to stamp. So I'm going to turn it like this. I'm going to load up my stamp. So just by pressing onto my stamp pad. There we go. And then just press it onto that piece. Alrighty, so now it looks just like that. It's light, but that's all right. I'm going to open it all the way up and I'm going to stamp this whole thing. So getting my ink onto my ink pad here. My ink pad onto my stamp pad. That's what I want to say. And let's just pop this right on just like that. And then let's do it. Probably looks like I need to do it maybe 2 more times. Okay. We're going to be covering a lot of this up. I just want to give it a little interest. Just adding a little interest. There. Just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this one as well, so we can make 2 together. This is a great scrap buster, and it's a great mass make. I have already finished both of them, and I have inked around the edges as well as the folded areas. So I've got a piece of book page now, and what I want to do is bring in my ruler, and I'm going to use my ruler to tear my paper, and I'm going to line it up just so I don't tear too awful crooked. Get this torn. I'm going to tear it again right here. We'll measure it in just a minute. I'm going to tear the borders off right here. I'm tearing it because I kind of want that rugged look. Now, if you want to use scissors, you most certainly can do that. You can make it your project, because this is a Tag Me Tuesday project. And what that is I have a Facebook group that I invite you all to join in. And how you join is you accept the rules of the group, and that is to be kind to everyone and that there's no selling in that group. It doesn't mean you can't sell your stuff, just not in that group, not on that site. And what we do there is we watch my YouTube channel and see what I'm making. And then I invite you all to make yours and put your own little spin on it. So you can make these projects with your own personality flavor. We're making the same project, but I'd love to see how the same project can turn out so different. And it's just our personalities that get mixed in to our creation. So this is a Tag Me Tuesday project here. There's a whole list of them over there in the playlist under hashtag Tag Me Tuesday. So there's a lot to choose from. I do ask that you don't just show us what you're working on this week. We're just going to focus on making Tag Me Tuesday projects. So you watch my YouTube channel, see how we make it, then make yours, then pop your picture over on the Facebook group so that we all can see how it looks. So this is why we tore this in a, I don't know if it's exactly a square. It's 3 inches by a little over 3, so it's not quite a square, but it's pretty close, just to give it some more layers. And so we stamped it, so that's one layer. Well, actually, I consider the inking a layer. And then we've got our book page here. Now, what are we going to put on the top here? Well, this is partial of that page that I tore this. So you don't even have to have the right size. You could tear your pictures to fit. So we're going to fit them inside our book page piece right here. I also have a very old book, and it has beautiful roses in it. I thought, ooh, let's maybe use that. I think that would be lovely. I'm either going to go with this one or this one. Which one do I like the best? Oh, I love them both. I'm just going to get my ruler. I think I better tear this one free. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I'm going to tear this bottom piece free because I'm going to use one of those pictures. So let's just tear a little bit here. I'm going to line it up just so I'm not too awful crooked. I'm going to tear that. I'm going to have to take it down a little bit. And lining it up, let's tear it right here. Okay. And then maybe right here. And how about here? Okay, there we go. Now how's this going to look on here? I think I want a little bit more torn on the side here. It's not quite torn down enough for what I'm looking for. Let's see, how does this look now? Well, that fits very nicely on there. So now let's take a look at this. Do I want those yellow or do I want the peach? I think I'm going to take the yellow for the simple fact that it's a bigger picture. And I think a bigger picture will actually look a little better. So I'm going to tear this down. I keep trying to make it even here so that when I tear, it's not crooked. Because it would be crooked for me if I just I just tore. However, I would end up having a a crooked piece, and I don't want that. Now let me go look and see. Yeah, just a little bit more, maybe about right here. Now let's see how that looks. Oh, that looks great. Now, do you notice that, especially on the red roses, that I've got an awful lot of white showing? That's where the inking really, really comes into play. It will take away that white, and I just think it cleans it up really nice. I like the way that looks inked. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on my torn edges on my yellow roses. All right, so we've got that done. Now I think it might be easier if I get my art glitter glue and I glue this down on here first. No, wait a second. Do I want a little bit? This was a shirt that I purchased at the thrift store last time I was there, and it has some lovely lace on it. The whole shirt was lace. Do I want to lay this down, maybe something like this, and just really, oh gosh, I think that looks so pretty on there like that. I'm going to do that. I'm reaching for my glue gun, and I have plugged it in, and I think I'm going to remove it like this. I'd like to place the lace about right there. And all right, I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to add my glue just so I can get it positioned without it moving. If I took it, that little picture of my roses, if I took it completely off, I would have a hard time getting it back on the way I wanted with the hot glue. Because when you're working with hot glue, you do have to work quickly. All right, so I've got that layered up. I think that looks really good on there. Now, how about this yellow, these yellow roses? Do I want to do the same thing? I love this little fringe that's happening on this piece of lace. So trimming that off, let's do another little chunk here and lay it down. Let's go on this side, maybe like that. Then I can trim the lace around. I think I can do this one a little better. Something about that red one, felt like I needed to lay it down and lift it up. But this one, not so much. I don't know what it was about that red one. All right, we've got that on there. Now, let's look at it on here. Goodness gracious, that's pretty. I'm going to kind of jaggedly cut that. I'm going to jaggedly cut this right here. Yeah, I don't want to be, that's a pretty big piece. I think I might be able to use that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have anything in the corner to pop that on, so maybe not. Now, I do want to grab some crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop. There's a coupon down below if you would like to pop over to her shop and pick you up some beautiful, beautiful colors that she has there. All right, I don't think I want to be real matchy-matchy, so I think I'm going to use the green with the yellow and the cream with the red, especially because it's very creamy in the center of the roses. So now it's time to glue our piece that we have made for, basically it's a topper for our piece of ephemera. And I'm going to pop it right on my piece right here. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, let's pop this one on. So it goes on like this. So adding my glue, and I'm sticking with my art glitter glue. You use the glue of your choice. And then popping this down just like this. Something like that. All right, wonderful. Now let's bring in our crinkled seam binding. And I'd like to add, I think I'm going to start at the top and just kind of bring it on down. I'm going to cut it off just a little bit. I'm going to have it right where it's really crinkly. And I'm just going to pop this on all the way down to the bottom. I don't have to scritch it up too awful much because it's already pretty much crinkled, being just its nature. And then I'm going to pop it over here. Like that. And I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to go all the way. I think I'm just going to cut it off here. Okay, anchor it down a little bit. There we go. That's looking good. Now this one, I thought the green would look really pretty with the yellow. And once again, I'm going to start up here at the top. I'm just going to use my scissors to help me push it down, mainly because I won't get glue all over my fingers and have it stuck on my fingers, the glue. Alrighty. Then let's continue on down to the corner. And then over here for a little ways. Like that. Okay, I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to glue this down right here on the end. Okay, I like how that one looks too. What a great project to use up some of those pictures that you have that you really just don't know what to do with. Now, I do have a couple of labels here, and I thought we could pop them on. I'm not sure exactly where this one. I think I'm going to put it crooked. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it, it might be too big though. I'm kind of looking at that. Let me get a couple more labels out to see if maybe something looks a little better. All right, I think these look a little, the shape is a little better. So I'm going to use these labels and I'm going to pop them on right down here at the bottom. We still have to add our little pieces inside our piece of ephemera. And before I do that, I'm going to trim a few of these flat back pearls and pop them onto our piece. I think it needs a little bit of bling. How about if we put a little bit of bling right up here at the top, just to draw your eye up at the top as well, because right now everything's going on down here below. So let's pull our eye up a little bit right here. Pop this on just like that. Oh goodness, isn't that pretty? What a great way to use your book page pictures, right guys? So now let's open this up. So we've got this open and I have got somewhere, I think right here, I've got some pieces cut and I've got some squares right here. Now for some reason this is not I stamped the back and not the front. Well, you stamp however you want. I've got this one piece that turned out and the rest too are not stamped. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my little squares up, and I just cut little sizes that to fit inside of the folded areas. And when I ink them, it really makes it pop. I'm trying to think if I would be able to maybe stamp my other two areas without causing trouble because of this. I don't think that's going to take it very well. I think it will turn out just fine whether I have it stamped or not stamped. And so because you're creating your own, you can design yours how you would like. That really wasn't meant to turn out that way, guys. It just was one of those things. I don't know. I designed this, and then I went and had lunch. My husband wanted to have lunch, so we went out and had lunch. And then by the time I came back, I don't know, sometimes I lose how I did it if I don't film right away after I make something. Sometimes I have problems recalling exactly how I did it, and then I end up doing it a different way, and then it ends up turning out a little different. So blah blah blah, that's what's happened to me today. I left my craft shop, my craft room, and yeah, now I'm discombobulated, and I didn't get my stamps on the right portion of my paper, but it's okay. It's for our junk journal, you guys. You're not going to mess up. Really, seriously. We're not going to mess up. It's going to turn out absolutely spectacular, however you decide to make yours. Goodness gracious. Whether you use a printed, shiny picture out of a book, or whether you pick one that's not shiny, either way, it's going to turn out great. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.